Welcome to another episode of What's in the Box, and this time this is actually a box of Ozark Trail outdoor equipment. This box came with two knives in it, and I've already given one of the knives away, and I think the other knife, I don't know exactly where it's at, but in any case, I bought the knives for the box. For those who don't know, Ozark Trail is the Walmart brand, and the two knives that were in there were okay. I mean, there were nothing special. There's a small lockback and a Swiss Army knockoff, but I bought the box. I bought the knives for the box because it's such a cool box. It's particle wood, but it looks like real wood, so there's a veneer over it, and you can already see the knives that are in there. What I did, let me show you the box first. This is something I do with a lot of things, including my drawers that I store knives in. I've got a bunch of blue felt, and basically what I do, a lot of kitty cat hair still on here, I guess. In any case, what I typically do is I cut felt to size for the box or the bottom of the drawer. I also got a couple spare pair of tweezers in there just in case I need them for a knife. In any case, and then I put the felt in the bottom so that the knives are not just resting on a wood bottom. But as you saw, there were 4 Swiss Army knives in the box, and well, let's take a look at them. This was the first one here, and this is a Swiss soldier's knife. Matter of fact, both of these are Swiss soldier's knives. The difference is when they came out. If you notice, this one has the little WK symbol on there, which is the symbol that it was checked by the Swiss government and approved for use with the Swiss Army. These are knives that were actually issued to the Swiss Army, and that's why they have this shield instead of the other shield. Let me get the typical Victorinox shield. Okay, so here's the typical Victorinox shield on what is this one? This is the Farmer. Yeah, got the wood saw down the middle. So, but you can see that's the shield that is used by Victorinox on their civilian knives. The Wenger shield is like so it's closer to this, but not exactly the same. However, on the Wenger standard issues, you'll see the same shield as what you see on the Swiss soldier's knives. The difference is the standard issue has a hollow rivet in the back, and they hook on a little bail on the end here. Now, later Swiss soldier's knives by Wenger also had the hollow rivet without the bail. The ones that were issued to the Swiss soldiers did not have a bail. So that's a little difference. And also, if you see here, this is Wenger Delamont, and you notice there is no date on it. All of the ones that were issued, these Swiss soldiers knives, have dates on them, so you know what year it came out. And let's see if it proves me wrong. This is a Wenger Delamont, Switzerland. You can tell it has the rivet, it has the control mark, and on the back side you see 1979. So this was a Swiss soldier's knife made by Wenger for the Swiss Army, and you notice the hollow rivet. Otherwise, it looks very much like all the tools that you have on a Pioneer. And you'll also notice that the Swiss soldier's knives used the Victorinox can opener. Same with the Wenger standard issue. They had to put on the Victorinox can opener. Otherwise, everything about this is similar to your Victorinox Pioneer. Notice here, though, that this has a cutting edge for stripping wire and such. So that's an interesting can opener. I don't know if that's the way it was issued. Probably was the way it was issued. So it was the specifications that was made by the Swiss Army. This one here is made, I think, after 2000 or 2001. What's the year on it? See here, this one is by Victorinox though. and it is 99. And if you notice, it does not have a control mark, and that's because I think somewhere around the mid 90s, the Swiss Army basically said, or the Swiss government basically said, your knives are too good, we're wasting our time with this second check on your knives, because the quality is exceeding what we're expecting for our issue knife. So we're not going to check them anymore. You see here, same tools. This one has a later style can opener. It's no longer got the stripper on there. But otherwise, it's basically your Pioneer, except no key ring. And those were the later Victorinox Swiss Soldiers knives. I wish I had my notes with me right here. I should have brought them down. I'll give you the date when they switched over to this. It was sometime in the 1960s. The Pioneer actually predates the Swiss Soldiers knives, and so do the metal USGI knives. The U.S. was issuing these type of milk knives, the military knives, as early as 1944, and so it might very well be that Victorinox decided to go with the ALOX covers on their knives to mimic the U.S. stainless steel, because at the time that these knives were first introduced, they were still using the some kind of fiber scale on their Swiss Soldiers knives, right up and into the 60s. So this was the very first Swiss Soldiers knife I picked up. I bought it on eBay, and it is Swiss made, you see there. And then I hate opening this can opener. These can openers have a pull that is like around a 10 or 11, and that is the way they are made. They are very hard to open. You heard that snap. They will not close on you. But that's the can opener, the style of can opener they had on it, and they were still using this can opener on these knives into the 60s, even though on Victorinox had already issued or came out with a newer style can opener in the late 40s, and that's the one that you just saw there. And that would have been a much better can opener and a safer can opener for Swiss Soldiers to use. You still got the quarter round awl on here, which is really good. I like these. You've got a nice 90-degree angle on there. And this one, as you can already tell, the blade has been cut, probably due to damage. You see there, Elstener Schweiz, Swiss made. So this was one made by Victorinox, and you see the year here, 1942. So this was made during World War II. For some reason, the WK stamp is missing on this one. I'm assuming that it wore off. If this was one made for the civilian market, there would have been a P stamped somewhere on the tang. Usually over here there'd have been a P in a circle instead of the date, I believe. I'm not sure if it replaces the date or not. Hobie on YouTube has all the information imaginable on these Swiss Soldiers knives. I think he's probably one of the most knowledgeable people on YouTube on it. A fellow named Dave Arnold, yeah, I could actually say Dave Arnold wrote the book on these, and I think that's literally what he did. He has written a book on these kind of knives. The second one I got this one a little while after this one, and I actually paid less for this one than I did this one. And it has the WK mark there. You see it there on the Swiss cross, and it says WK. And then got the screwdriver. Notice it's just a screwdriver. There's no cap lifter going on here. And then once again, the bear of a can opener has not changed. The only difference, I believe, is now it's might be stainless, or this might just be in really good shape. Somewhere on the side here you can kind of see the name of the person who owned it. It's kind of engraved in there somehow. They put their name on there. I can't read it all, but somebody definitely put their name on the back side there. Again, this was an issue knife. You've got the quarter round over here, and now I have a full blade one. Notice it is a nice clip blade. Again, Elsener Schweiz, and this is from 1944. So again, one that was made during World War II, but obviously Switzerland was a neutral nation, so these were not going to war or anything other than to the border of Switzerland to make sure everybody remained neutral. As you can tell, there's shrinkage on the covers on them and everything, but otherwise pretty good shape for a knife made in 1944. And that pretty much wraps up the Swiss soldiers knives that I kept in this box. And the reason I kept them in this box is, well, because I cannot display them. They don't have a bail or a lanyard ring, and that was something that the Swiss Army did not want, so they could not hang them up. I do have one other Swiss soldier's knife, obviously, and that is the one that replaced this knife, and that is the current issue one, which is the 111 millimeter one. There's two different versions of this one. This one's the later one. You can tell it's later because the circle for opening it, for the one end opening blade, is rounder. The other one will be kind of more loopy. This one came out in 2015. These hit the civilian market at the same time that the issue market comes out, so there's no real difference between them. They'll make them for their soldiers, and then they make them for the civilian market at the same time, but these are the actual knives that are issued. You got the lock, which is actually left-handed, like it makes any difference to me, and then you have the saw blade all the way to the end here. Normally on a Swiss Army knife, the blade is all the way to the far side and then the saw is down the middle, but on this particular knife the saw makes it all the way to the edge, and that is partly because of the one hand opening thing and the fact that you have the liner lock going in place there. On the other side here, is that what I think it is? Oh, that is the liner lock. You have the big old can opener, and cap lifter screwdriver, and you've got the liner lock on that, so it will not close on you. And that's why the blade has been moved over, because that liner lock is shared between these two blades, the main blade and the can opener. Cap lifter screwdriver. And then the other tool you have is right up front, which is the can opener with the little screwdriver. And on the back side you have a Phillips driver and the punch. And notice now though there's no sewing eye on it, and that's the case with the Swiss soldier's knife. And again, this one's from 2015, and very similar knife is the U.S. utility knife that was made by Victorinox. But if you notice, there's, besides having the U.S. stamped on it, you also see a difference in the shield, and then it is definitely modeled after the original German Army knife, and you can see that they are basically the same knife. The only difference is no date, and there you have it. Interesting enough, my most viewed video according to Victorinox is the video where I talk about these three knives at the same time. I don't know why, but that knife just that video gets hit all the time. But there you have it. That's the last of my Swiss Army knives. There are plenty of people out there, Swiss soldiers knives. there are plenty of people out there who have much more extensive videos on these types of knives. If you're really interested in them, the place to go though is Hobie on YouTube. I don't think Swiss Army Grizz has really gotten into these yet, but I bet he will eventually. Any case, with that said, I will let you go, and I hope you enjoyed another episode of What's in the Box.